Okay, hello there YouTube. I guess it's time for another update since I haven't done one in about a week or so. So I guess firstly I'm going to start with the paradise fish tank. Um, in here I got this male paradise fish which I got in January, and he's actually been doing quite well. And since I've had him in January, he's actually about doubled in size, but I think he's just a pretty good sized male right now. But I think once I bring him home to my 75-gallon tank, he should get to about 3 or 4 inches. And right now, I do think this 2-gallon tank is actually too small for him. So I've been doing water changes once a week at 50%. And I sometimes exercise him by just teasing him. So make sure he stays in good shape. But he's hasn't shown any loss of color or any signs of stress, so it's all good for him. And one thing I want to point out is my Java moss actually developed these red little stalks on it, and I kind of remembered some of the stuff that I learned in biology class, and those are actually sporophytes. And hopefully you can see one right here, but I don't think it'll show up that well on the camera. But the sporophytes are the reproductive aspect of the Java moss. So I'm not sure what's going to happen once those sporophytes are released, but I assume it'll just be tiny little Java moss plantlets everywhere within this tank. But this tank's all good. There's just been a bit of algae. And at least this time it's green algae, so it doesn't look that bad. And he is doing quite well. He's pretty active, got good color, and everything. So now we're on to the 5-gallon. Okay, and this is probably one of the tanks I'm most proud of in recent years. This is a 5-gallon tank because it's my first real attempt at doing like a pure natural tank with all live plants, no plastic stuff whatsoever. And all the plants are doing really, really good, especially these hornworts. It actually grew to a point where it actually split up into about 3 plants. And it's just covering up the surface. It's dampening the light a bit, but that's alright. And the croaking Grammys, they seem to like it quite a bit. They like to hide in there, which is unfortunate for me because I don't get to see them that much, but it's fortunate for them because they don't get stressed out. And every single fish in here is fine. Zebra Danos were all good. No longer have any signs of ick coming back. And I guess it was 2 weeks ago there was the outbreak, and since it's been 2 weeks now, I guess I can start desalinating the tank, which I've been doing during my water changes, as I have not been adding in any more salt. And one thing I wanted to point out is that this, I guess it's a temple plant right here. It's growing really well, but it shed quite a few of its original leaves, but it just keeps growing these new runners on it. Well, not runners, I guess you'd call extensions. And some of these extensions, they've been growing about 1 centimeter a week, which is pretty good. So eventually, once you get to about 3 or 4 inches long, I'm probably going to chop them off and root them. But when I cut off those extensions, I'm actually going to try putting them into planted pots with dirt substrate of top potting soil, just see if that'll make them grow a bit quicker. And one thing that I'm kind of not proud about myself is that I've tried to make CO2 systems, and each time I ended up just making a bunch of alcohol. And that was because I did not add baking soda. And fortunately for me, I actually didn't have the CO2 going in the tank. I tested it out first in here just to see if there was any bubbles being produced. And there is no bubbling whatsoever. And that is just alcohol, water, with a bunch of sugar. So this stuff is going to get discarded, and I'm going to start over again. And every fish is doing good. Croaking rammies, good but shy. Cherry barbs, showing good color, both males and females. I actually like the color on the females a bit more, because they got the yellow and the red and the brown, as opposed to this male who's just he's kind of pink, I guess you could say. And Zebra Dano's really good. Oh, there was a little croaking rammy. Oh, but he's out of sight. And I'm starting to get some snails. But that's kind of good because they help take care of the detritus, and they help keep the tank just a little bit cleaner. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.